Are you thinking about changing your course load? What happens to your OSAP? Let's look at some scenarios. What happens if I, as an OSAP student, drop from 100% course load to 80% course load at any time? No impact. Georgian policy is that a student will be charged full fees as long as they are taking above 66% course load. Because there is no change in fees, there is no change to the OSAP assessment. But wait, how do I calculate course load? What does that mean? When calculating course load for OSAP purposes, you can use either the number of courses or the course hours, whichever results in the higher course load. To calculate course load by the number of courses, find out how many courses are typically in the semester you are registered in, and divide that number of courses by the actual number of courses you are taking. For example, if your semester is usually 6 courses at 100% and you are taking 4, then divide 4 by 6, which would mean a 66.66 course load. If you're not sure about courses, check the Program Outline PDF on your program page on the Georgian College website. To calculate course load by the number of hours, find out how many hours in the semester you are registered in is equal to 100% and divide that by how many hours you are actually taking. If 100% in your semester is 392 hours and you are taking 238 hours, then divide 238 hours by 392 hours, which would mean a 67.4% course load. Since 67.4% is more than 66.66%, you can use the hours calculation in this case. If you're not sure how many courses or hours is equal to 100%, contact your program office. Before we look at the next scenarios, we need to know about Day 10. Day 10 is the last day to add or drop courses or withdraw with a refund, except for deposits, which are non-refundable. What happens if I, as an OSAP student, add another course before Day 10, but after OSAP funding was released, making it 110% course load? Impact. Students are responsible for paying for additional fees. Anything above 100% course load is charged additional fees. Even though fees have changed, OSAP will not include any costs above 100% course load. It is the student's choice to take a greater course load. What if I have an OSAP approved permanent disability and I drop between 40 to 66% course load before Day 10 and my fees are adjusted? Impact. What if I don't have an OSAP approved permanent disability and I drop between 60 to 66% course load before Day 10 and my fees are adjusted? Same impact. In either of these scenarios, OSAP permanent disability plus 40 to 60% course load or no permanent disability and 60 to 66% course load and both before Day 10. Fees and course load will be adjusted to actual costs on the OSAP application. If the student was assessed at 100% course load and OSAP was distributed to Georgian College based on 100% course load, there will be an adjustment to the funding. What happens with overpayments in this scenario? If the student is in a 2-term program and the change was made in the fall term, the student will likely receive less funding in the winter term to make up for the overpayment. If the student is in a 1-term program, any credit on banner will be paid back to national student loans to pay down or pay off the overpayment. If there is no overpayment or only part of the credit is returned to national student loans, the student is entitled to the credit. What happens after Day 10 in the same scenarios? OSAP permanent disability and 40 to 60% course load or no permanent disability and 60 to 66% course load. Impact. The OSAP application will be adjusted to show the drop in course load. There will be no change to the OSAP assessment as the fees do not change. What if I have an OSAP approved permanent disability and I drop to below 40% course load before day 10 and my fees are adjusted? Major impact. What if I don't have an OSAP approved permanent disability and I drop to below 60% course load before day 10 and my fees are adjusted? Same major impact. What if I withdraw completely? Same major impact. In any of these scenarios, OSAP permanent disability and less than 60% course load, or no permanent disability and less than 40% course load, or complete withdrawal from courses. If the OSAP funding has not yet been released, the student's full-time OSAP application will be closed, and the student will be advised to apply for part-time OSAP if taking at least 20% course load. If the student has been issued OSAP funding, the OSAP file is amended to state that the student withdrew from the studies as of the withdrawal date or the date that the course load dropped below OSAP eligibility. The OSAP funding is recalculated for the actual time the student attended on a full-time basis. Grant funding could be converted to loan funding and a large overpayment could occur. What happens with overpayments? If the overpayment is over $10,000, the student could be restricted from receiving OSAP funding in future years until it is paid down to $8,000. The student will be placed on an academic probation because they dropped below course load or withdrew from studies. Students can still receive OSAP funding while on probation. If the student was already on an OSAP probation, they will receive a restriction. The minimum is 1 year. Any credit on your Banner account will be returned to the National Student Loan Service Center and applied to your student loan first, and then any grant to loan conversion. If the student returns in the winter or summer term, the overpayment and grant to loan conversion will be subtracted from their new assessment. The last day to withdraw from most programs or courses, no refund, is November 15th for fall, or March 15th for winter, or July 14th for summer. Just remember, your decision may affect your current and future OSAP funding. Talk to Financial Aid and Awards to figure out how your change will affect your own OSAP funding. You can reach Financial Aid and Awards by email at financialaid@GeorgianCollege.ca or by phone at 705-722-1530 or in person at the Office of the Registrar in C Building. You can also visit our website at GeorgianCollege.ca/financialaid. When you leave an email or a voicemail, please be sure to include your student name and student number as well as a brief description of your issue so we can expedite our response back to you.